Well, grade school, I went to a private school, and it was very small. There were like 20 kids in our class, so it was very small. And for the most part, we all got along really, really well until like around 4th, 5th, 6th grade when, I guess, when kids just get hormones. Art class was my favorite. I liked to sing, and I liked to be in the school play. All of that kind of stuff sort of fed these guys to like make fun of me and bully me. So most of the bullying was name calling, but it was like really hurtful stuff. I was called everything from "you're a girl," "you're gay." The bullying followed me all the way through high school and even into college. And when you hear those words over and over again so many times, like it just starts to like eat at you and mess you up. And it totally messed me up. You know, my parents would always tell me like, well, God has a plan, and God made you. But I was always confused, like, well, if God made me this way, then why is everyone else making fun of me and saying that these things are bad? Like, something doesn't add up. This stuff isn't true. These lies I have been told aren't true. I never felt that they were true, but it was super confusing. I think probably one of the bravest steps I've ever taken was actually when I decided to meet with a counselor. It was actually during the New Man series when I was meeting with him, and I hated the branding for the New Man series. Hated it. This big, burly, bearded guy with a hard hat, works in a factory, and I was like, I'm not that guy. I don't know who that is. And I don't identify with that. But while we were praying through it, God brought to mind all of the things that I'm good at. I'm good at drawing. I'm fairly good at singing. I like to cook. I'm just super creative and artistic and caring. I care about other people, and I want to take care of other people. And God brought all that stuff to my mind, and he specifically said to me, you know, I wouldn't know if it was audibly, but it was like very clear. The words, "Andrew, I made you a man. And all of these things about you, I consider extremely masculine. So masculine that you look like this dude in the hard hat. That's how masculine those things are." Well, I think while it was one of the biggest things that God said to me, calling me out and saying, "I made you a man," I think that it is super important for me to be constantly reminded of that. Man camp was super affirming in that way. When I went to man camp, I didn't want to go to man camp. I hated everything about the idea of man camp. But when I was there, on the other side of it, I just felt super affirmed by who God made me to be. God also told me that I fit. I mean, at man camp, there's all these like everyone's around a campfire, all these guys around a campfire. And I was afraid that I would be the guy outside the circle at the fire. And when I was there, what I realized was like, no, like I have a spot around the fire with all of these other guys. And so God told me, one, that I was a leader, and two, that I fit with these other men. It's actually made me believe more in God's faithfulness, because there were plenty of times where I believed lies about myself, continued to believe those. Every time that I felt that, I just felt God saying, just keep going. And through doing that, like, God proved that he was going to take care of me. And I think that I believe in his faithfulness even more now. My name is Andrew, and my parents just named me that because they liked it. But Andrew actually means strong and courageous. And I was like, that's cool. I don't feel like that guy, but that's cool. And what I think sort of happened through this whole process was like, God one, called me by name, and then he specifically said, this is why you're Andrew, because you're brave and you're strong and you're courageous. And I think that the only way that I could believe that was true was because I believe that God is good. I think that's what made me brave and what makes me brave.